At Conductor, we're in the business of helping brands realize the full potential of their website. For organizations that have a ton of valuable knowledge, the goal of our product is to help marketers, product, and web teams harness the power of that wisdom and help people. And as you see here, we do that in three ways: website monitoring, content creation, and SEO, so increase visibility in search engines. Hudi was selected because obviously it's an open data format, so it gives us a wide selection of query engines that we can use, and it's very tweakable and well documented. It's very tweakable. And this is actually the big problem that we experienced. We were spending a lot of time trying to figure out the right combination of knobs and dials for our use cases. And of course, we also managed our own Spark in EMR. And what happens if Spark runs out of memory, and all these things were costing us just a lot of development time. So we were introduced to OneHouse, which has been a godsend for us, because basically overnight we had a functioning data lake that covered like 90+% of our needs. We have a cost-effective bring your own cloud solution that works for us for Hudi and S3. Is very cool because as soon as you sync a table, ingest a table, you're immediately able to query it, right? We get reporting, and I just want to mention seriously the excellent support we're getting. Not only is it like, hey, this broke, can you fix it, or this feature request, but we also get a lot of learning from OneHouse. They actually taught us how to partition things properly and whatnot. So that I cannot thank you guys enough. Thanks Andy, thanks Paul, thanks everybody. Again, that's where OneHouse helped, because we didn't have to actually do anything with Spark there. All we had to do is just basically package a Java file, a jar file, where we implemented a class, and then we just inserted it in our OneHouse interface, and it was able to be used in there. We can see some of the logs even as part of the user interface. I'm super happy we don't have to manage Spark. One of the big wins that we have here, we just treat it as a black box, give it the data links left. It gets ingested, it goes into the warehouse, it's immediately there available for us to use. We tried Redshift again as a classical data warehouse because it was there. But what we found with Redshift, and this is what Andy also mentioned, it's not really open. So the problem with that is that we were getting inconsistent performance, and we couldn't know what was causing it, in a sense that we would run a query, it would run for 8 seconds, a cold query. Then we run the same query again. The data obviously landed in the machine's local store or wherever it is, and that query would go for 200 milliseconds. To us, a query engine to try, which was Starox. Starox, you've probably seen the reviews, you've seen the benchmarks, and I gotta tell you, it's true. For our cases, that stuff runs fantastically well, right? So it's a full feature distributed open source columnar-DB data warehouse, call it whatever. You can access it through MySQL compatible driver. It's very nice. It has all the different types of joins. It has very good materialized views, Hudi compatibility, Iceberg, and all that. Gotten better, and now they're basically, the problem with them is if they're slow, they're usually slow because of the joins, not because we managed to reduce the scanning of data as much as we can. So we now have actually good queries. I'm already working on that and trying it and getting relatively good results, and the cost will drop precipitously with this. The first thing is, and I really cannot stress this enough, when you're starting right now and you find yourself in a situation that we were, where everything is all over the place, and you want to unify this somehow, please do not do big bang plans where you have the next 6 months planned out with huge charts and spreadsheets and everything, where everything is put in there to the greatest amount of detail. You start with the simplest but working end-to-end pipeline and evolve from there. And what I mean is, just identify a data set, grab it from here, transform it if you have to, put it over here, slap your API on top of that, or maybe a user interface on top of that, and let her rip, and ensure that it actually ingests continuously and this lifecycle works. You will learn so much from that. And then once this works, you can apply this many, many times to actually fill up your lakehouse with more data from various sources, right? So don't get too lost in data technicals though. Keep in mind the final result.
House, and I'll just sort of go through the order that you would go through. I do want to mention that you're running this in your own cloud. We're not holding your data. We're not asking you to upload your data to our servers or anything. This is your cloud owned by you. And the way we throttle it, you can actually set the usage limit right here. This sets how much resource you're going to be using on your cloud to make your data lakehouse work.
We will have gotten there probably eventually, but with OneHouse, a lot of things we didn't have to figure out anymore. Not saying that we don't understand and want to learn how Spark works, etc. We still use it for specific things internally, and we're playing around with it. But the fact of the matter is, if it's managed for you and configured and it's cost effective, you're better off using it unless you spend way too much time. And there is never enough time and there is never enough money.